let's see if we are online. Okay, there we are. Okay, let's do this. Let's drop a like on there. Videos, all right. Test. Okay. All right. We are here after work. There we go. Drop another like on there. All right. Let me just first start with saying that I am so excited that for this event, I didn't expect this. I didn't realize this. But Jim Lampley is actually doing commentary for the fights tonight. He's got some other folks with him as well, some of the typical DAZN crew. But I did not realize that Jim Lampley was going to be doing the play-by-play, the blow-by-blow. I know that he had done some, like, I don't know, some typing along or whatever with, what the hell was that? Okay, I gotta shut that off. Okay, I guess that means I'm gonna... how do I shut that off? Alright, let's make sure you can still hear me. Okay. So Jim Lampley is doing some of the blow-by-blow, is doing the blow-by-blow tonight on the commentary, which I was thrilled by, because he is the golden era. He comes from the golden era of boxing commentary, which was HBO boxing. That was Jim Lampley, Max Kellerman doing the color commentary, the successor to the great Larry Merchant. You had Harold Letterman, who was doing the scorecard. You had Roy Jones, who was doing commentary. Sometimes you had Andre Ward on there, but it tickles my balls to have Jim Lampley doing play-by-play on the commentary again. So that's really exciting. That's a nice little note. Anyway, we just had the first fight, which I didn't really even know the fighters. This is before the Teofimo and Barboza fight, and then it'll be the Devin Haney and Ramirez, and then we're going to have the main event, which is going to be Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero. So now we get the first of the big three fights that are happening tonight, which is Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza Jr. This actually could wind up being the fight of the night. Because, I mean, first of all, it's been a hot second, since Teofimo's been in the ring. It's been a hot second particularly since Ryan and Devin have been in the ring. But Barboza has been rather active, and he's a really good fighter. He's undefeated. I think he's 32-0 with 11 knockouts. Very much a technician. Very, he's slick. He's got really agile movement, agile foot movement. He makes good use of his lead hand. He does a nice job with his combinations, and he's patient. His patience, I think, is going to be a key factor in this fight if he is going to pull off what would be what would be an upset for many, but he's he's a real challenger. This is a legitimate challenger to Teofimo Lopez, and I think a big question that a lot of people always ask when Teofimo fights is which Teofimo is showing up, because he has had some inconsistency in his performances. I think the pinnacle of Teofimo that we saw may have been him against Vasyl Lomachenko. And then there was one other time where he really, I think, reached that peak. But then there's been other times, like against Kambosos, where he fell flat. But he's so dynamic. He's such a dynamic athlete, and he's a very skilled boxer. And he's facing here in Arnold Barboza, a technician who is sound, who's patient, who doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and is a good counterpuncher. And that's going to be really interesting. How does Teofimo deal with somebody who's going to let him kind of take the lead in this dance? Teofimo is a very good counterpuncher, and that is something I think he looks for. He looks for that dynamic counter, that counter right uppercut, those counter hooks. I think it's possible he gets frustrated here by Barboza's style, by Barboza's patience. On the other hand, though, Barboza doesn't do a great job at moving his head. Oh, this is interesting. Teofimo was coming out of a cab, and he's got an NYPD vest on. It's like an old-timey cab, though. That's pretty cool. So, for those who don't know, this event, if you're not watching, it takes place. It's in Times Square. It's an outdoor event here that's taking place. This is an outdoor event taking place in the middle of Times Square. The first of its kind that I know of. And you just had Teofimo exit a cab and is now in the ring, walking into the ring. And this is a real this is a moment for him. This is a real challenge in Arnold Barboza. And can Teofimo, a lot of people are going to want him to get a stoppage here. And he can, but it's not going to be easy. I don't think it'll be easy against this guy. This guy, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, Arnold Barboza. What can Teofimo do? Let's see. Another thing is Barboza, his most recent fight was a win over Jack Catterall. And a lot of people saw that as an upset. But Barboza had been really on the warpath for a while and had some good wins in the past. He has a win over Jose Ramirez, who is fighting against Devin Haney tonight. That was a really strong win for Barboza. He has, as much as anybody in boxing, he has earned this real shot at the title. He has been someone who has grinded, who for like 12 years has just been in this game and has not earned a shot like this. And now he has his moment, and he has been exuding confidence in the build-up. And we'll see if he can really seize this moment here against Teofimo, who, again, like we said before, can be an inconsistent performer sometimes. He's spectacular, explosive athlete, and really, really good skills too. Something else about Barboza is that, well, for one thing, Teofimo is the former lineal champion at 135 and 140. So, I mean, Teofimo, you don't get that without having the goods. And Teo does have the goods, but he just doesn't always show it. Is he going to show it tonight here against Barboza? Something else about uh, Barboza, he does a nice job of ending a lot of combinations with the swivel jab, which is not something that fighters tend to expect. That when you're throwing your combination, and you end it with a jab, that a lot of fighters aren't expecting you to throw that at the end, especially like a 1-2-1. Manny Pacquiao would do that. Sergey Kovalev would do that. I'm getting I don't know what these spam messages are. But Catterall was waiting to counterpunch against Arnold Barboza, but Barboza wasn't giving him the opening. Barboza really stayed disciplined. He stayed patient, and that's how he kind of pulled off what people consider to be the upset here. I will say, Teofimo, he got caught in his last fight against Steve Claggett. He won that fight via unanimous decision, but he got caught a decent bit when he would let his hands down, have a low guard, and just kind of try and use his upper body movement. And he got caught various times. And there was one particular time when he got caught. I think it was with he tried to throw a counter uppercut, and he got caught. And the thing is with Barboza has really nice in and out movement. So if you're not careful about your distance with that uppercut, and you throw, and then they just back out of range and then come back in with the counter, that's going to be that could be a problem. So the two just met in the center of the ring now. We're about to have this fight get underway. And God, man, I love to hear Lampley's voice talking ringside. All right, Barboza comes out with a nice long guard. And now this is what's also interesting about this fight. If you're into the betting scheme, if you're into doing DraftKings, FanDuel, all that kind of stuff, so I will mess around here and there in my betting. This was a fight where I thought there was betting value. Now, I think that Teofimo is going to win. It's a close, but the thing is that it was plus 200 odds at Barboza to win. And while I think Teo wins, it's a close fight. And there was real value in betting Barboza. So anyway, connected that on a 2-leg parlay, where I also placed a bet on the under for Ryan versus Rolly, the under of 6.5 rounds. Tentative start here. Oh, Teofimo just threw an overhand right that kind of partially caught Barboza. Barboza looks just very calm and composed. And you can see how composed Barboza is. He's not fazed by Teofimo's speed and movement. Teofimo is trying to throw him off by using some upper body movement and some of these wide swinging shots. Barboza doesn't seem like he's really biting or falling for it. Teofimo just came forward. Barboza showed that he was trying to counter him with a left hook. So the question here is, oh, good little counter left hook there by Teofimo. Teofimo actually is throwing a good deal of jabs here in the first round, and that is something that has been that Teofimo has been criticized for. Is that, Teofimo has always been best when his opponent is taking the lead, so then he can throw his devastating counters. And part of that is the fact that he doesn't throw a real consistent jab throughout the fight. And he's showing a jab here in round 1. Is he going to keep up that jab through the rest of the fight? Ooh, nice counter to the body by Teo. Oof. Okay, good counter jab by Barboza. All right. Good start. Interesting round one. We saw some more jabs by Teofimo. I'll be interested to see if he sticks with the jabs. I like some of the feinting that I saw by Barboza, and I think Barboza having a bit of a long guard. I think that caused Teo a little bit of trouble there in getting his distance. And we got Teofimo Lopez Sr. here in the corner. Maybe the most obnoxious father in boxing. He's got to be up there with John Fury, maybe Bill Haney. But I honestly think that Teofimo Sr., he's got to be the most obnoxious. All right, we're getting ready for round two here. Barboza controlling the center of the ring here. Barboza, again, he's showing this long guard, and Teofimo's got his lead hand low. Ooh, good little counter right by Teo as Barboza moved in. I'd like to see Barboza flash the jab a bit more. A lot of posing here by both guys, kind of with the up, around. Teofimo showing decent footwork here. Sometimes he's inconsistent with his footwork. Sometimes he shows really sloppy footwork, but he's doing okay right now. Oh, that was a little sloppy. Almost got caught there by squaring up on the ropes. Exchanging jabs, both of the men are. Both of them posing, showing the jab. Teofimo was trying to counter him with that right. Didn't really time it right there. Teo with a jab to the body. Teo throwing a few jabs, not catching Barboza. Barboza with a jab to the body. Teofimo feinting. Ooh, okay. High-level exchange there. Barboza tried to catch Teo with a counter right, but didn't get him. It's a technical battle. It's a technical battle so far, and I think both men are a little frustrated in trying to. Oh, Barboza just tried coming forward with a combination there, and again with the swivel jab on the end of his combo. That's the end of that round. It's competitive. It's a competitive fight, as at least in this early stage, as was more or less expected. Let's see. Looks like Barboza's corner is telling him to go for the liver shot. I feel like I haven't seen many fighters really target the body of Teofimo, and I think part of that is the concern of being countered to the head, because he does have real pop. Now, there is a question, though, of how much pop does Teofimo have at 140. He was a real electric puncher at 135, but he hasn't gotten a knockout since 2022. Looks like the commentary team, they have Teofimo up 2-0. I think that's fair. Teo is just edging him out in punches landed and in punches thrown. Good right to the body by Barboza. All right, Lampley noting that he thinks that Barboza's best punch in his arsenal, if he has one, would be the cross, the right cross there. It's probably fair. I do like that swivel jab he puts on the end of some of his combos. But yeah, I think the right cross is probably right. Teofimo now coming forward. Barboza now coming back forward. They're both kind of, well, now Barboza is the center of the ring. Oh, nice little counter right by Barboza as Teo was coming in. And Barboza with the 2-1. Teofimo backs away. Jab to the body by Teofimo. Return jab to the body by Barboza. Doesn't land. Both of them throwing jabs to the body. Probably trying to set something up to the head. Teo kind of doing some little feints and yeah, feinting forward, trying to elicit a reaction, a response from Barboza. Barboza leapt forward with something, and Teo tried to counter him there. Ooh, Teo with a nice little shot to the body, then came back up to the head. I will say, Teo is... He's definitely getting more comfortable here and starting to look sharper. Ooh, good jab by Teofimo. And that's the end of the round. Barboza with a fist pump at the end of the round. Competitive fight, high level stuff from both of these fighters. We are seeing Teo make more use of the jab, I think, than he had in a lot of other fights. And we're seeing it's not terribly easy for either of them to land clean on each other. And it seems like most of the time they're landing something on each other, it's from countering. All right. Round 4. I could see folks having it 3 rounds nil for Teo. But it's competitive. It's they've been close, pretty close rounds. And Barboza trying to throw jab to the body there. Ooh, nice little sequence there. Teo landed a nice little cross and then ducked out. Oh, doubled up on the left hook, body to head. Teo did. Barboza just tried to counter. Teofimo avoided it. Ooh, Teo is in a flow state here. He just did a nice little counter cross as Barboza came in. Teo is ducking and weaving from Barboza's punches. Teo is getting into a flow state, it looks like. Barboza with a nice jab, though. And Teofimo is kind of using a little bit of that silly shell, so to speak. I think it's a good job by Barboza to back off in that moment and to kind of reset things, because Teo had been getting into a flow. Yeah, all right. Barboza kind of came forward. Teo backed away and ducked around. I feel like Teo is starting to get a beat on Barboza's timing. And that's, I think Barboza needs to do something to change that. I think he has to do some more feinting here, because Teo is starting to time him. Yeah, Barboza's jab, he's able to land the jab at different points, but that's kind of the thing he's been most consistently able to get. Teo's done a decent, pretty good job of being able to get some crosses in there. Ooh, Teo just tried to do a little, jab to the body, cross upstairs. Barboza did a decent job avoiding it. Barboza with a jab here. Teo kind of getting into his little shell. Teo, interesting. He started using a cross guard for a second. That's the thing is, yeah, Teo. He seems like he really he plays in there, and not in a bad way. He plays in the sense that I don't know. It seems like he keeps it fun for himself, in the sense that he's doing different little techniques and moves and trying different things. He's experimental. He's chaotic. He's talented. He's athletic. It's hard to plan for a guy like that. It's hard to plan for a guy like that. Okay, we're getting on to round 5 here. Lopez and Barboza. Looks like Barboza, I think he's taking a little bit more of an aggressive stance here. Good little counter left hook by Barboza as Teofimo tried to turn. Yeah, Barboza's now just kind of trying to counter. Oh man, just got countered again. Barboza did. Yeah, it feels like the first two rounds, first two, 3 rounds were, kind of very close. And I feel like rounds 4 and so far round 5, I feel like Teo has kind of gotten a beat on Barboza's timing. And Barboza needs to do something to change the equation. Teo's doing a little bit of showboating, as Lampley just noted. A little bit of showboating. I think he's getting comfortable. Barboza just kind of keeping his cool, keeping to the game plan. Teo really enjoys doing that cross downstairs and then roll out of it. Ooh, Tio with a little. He showed a cross guard. Barboza threw something at him. He caught the cross guard and then countered with a hook. I think these two, Tio and Barboza, they had a little bit of a rivalry going. They both were top ranked guys, and this is a fight that's kind of been in the makings for a little while. Tio's got his hands down. He's doing a little showboating here. And Tio now switches southpaw. A little bit of mind games here from Teofimo. Barboza staying, just sticking to, keeping measured, keeping reserved. Teofimo, again, the showboating, dancing, and that's the end of the round. Yeah, Tio is just kind of showing, at the moment, he's just showing his dynamism. He's more dynamic. He's getting into these different little, into mini flow states where he'll throw a little combination and then he'll counter and avoid, what Barboza throws back at him, and then throw a little showboating move in there. The thing with Tio, he's always had the talent. He's always had the talent, but he's just always been a wild card. He's very skillful. He's super athletically gifted. But the question has always been, can he just stay consistent with his fights, right? Consistent in his schedule, consistent in his performances. And so far he's putting on a good performance here against Barboza, who is a very good boxer. Tio with a nice little catch and counter. Tio, he likes throwing up a little bit of a cross guard. Now Tio switches stances, where he was southpaw, now he's back to orthodox. God, Tio's got some of the best fast twitch muscles in the sport. He's just so, very twitchy, very explosive. Barboza's just had it tough his whole career, and his upbringing. He's been grinding away, and he's earned this shot more than as much as anybody's ever earned a shot. He's earned this shot, and he's in here and he's putting in his work, and he's trying to catch Tio, but so far, Tio has just been a bit too dynamic, a bit too athletic, a bit too much. Oh, good counter right by Barboza. And Tio is now on the ropes. He doesn't look like he's really hurt, but he got caught there. Tio's off the ropes. He's got his hands down. Barboza just stays cool and calm and collected. Coming forward. The thing is, Barboza... Oh, good little right uppercut on the inside by Barboza. And Tio catches him with a good clean shot as he was working around. The thing is, Barboza is not known to be a knockout puncher. So he landed a nice shot there. But He's going to have to do more. He's going to have to land more. Teo with a good cross to the body there. I think you give that round to Barboza. That was a good round for Barboza. I think at most now you give one, probably just one round to Barboza. They just sort of replay here of that right hand that he caught Teofimo with. Caught him kind of right on the cheek there. As Teo was coming in for his own right hand, Barboza caught him with a right on the left side of his face. That's to be expected. Yeah, it's you got to expect that Barboza is going to catch Teo with some shots at some points in this fight. He's just too skilled, too much of a technician to not. How does Teo handle it? So far, so good. And how much does Barboza wind up catching him with? So far, Teo has looked pretty sharp. And so now we're in round 7. Okay. Teo is sticking with the jab. He's doing a good job of making sure he uses the jab in this fight. Oh, good counter right by Teofimo. Barboza does a pretty good job of avoiding a lot of these jabs. I really like, Barboza, I think, has really nice, does a good job with his distance. And particularly, he does a good job with hopping in and out of range. Oh, he just hopped out, but Teo followed him and caught him with a shot. Teo tries to throw an uppercut to the body. Didn't look like it really was clean. Not a whole lot happening this round. Last round, Barboza landed that nice, clean counter right that carried the round for him. Barboza comes over with a 4 or 5 punch combination. Teofimo avoids all of them and then catches him with a nice little right hand. Teo in that shell. It's weird, though. He's got the shell, but he, squares up with the shell. At least in that moment. The thing is just you're not... I don't know. Maybe we're going to see it in the coming rounds, because it's round 7 still. A little counter right on the inside by Barboza. It's not time yet, but in the next couple of rounds, I think we're going to have to see a bit more urgency from Barboza. Oh, good jab. Barboza landed a couple of good jabs this round. A couple of good jabs by Barboza this round. Teo again tries to come in with the right hand and then ducks around, or does a little roll. Barboza gets caught with a little right hand at the end of the round there. He pumps his fist, but I don't know. That was the 7th round. We're getting to the 8th round here. But as we kind of enter the last third of this fight, in the next round or two, I'm hoping to see a little more urgency from Barboza, because this is such a huge shot that he has now. Oh yeah, they're just showing a replay now of that 4 or 5 punch combination that Barboza threw, and Teo avoided all of them and caught him, counter him with a little right. What a interesting setup. So it's like it's in Times Square, but it's blocked off with this red kind of wall. And then you got, you know, the insiders who are in there, and then you got people, the public on the outside. And now we're in round 8 here of a fight that it looks like Teofimo is just, you know, fairly comfortably winning on points. In a competitive fight, in a somewhat competitive fight, but a clear fight. Ooh, Teo just tried to counter with a... Teo kind of dancing around the outside. Barboza hasn't made Teofimo terribly uncomfortable yet. But that's the thing. That's not really Barboza's style. He's not trying to... He's not a swarmer. Teofimo kind of circling the outside, comes forward behind his little shell, avoids whatever Barboza just threw. And again, working on the outside, just kind of circling the outside of the ring there. Barboza's coming forward now. A little jab to the body, but not much happening. Oh, Teo threw a right, didn't really land. Teofimo's kind of squared up and a little jab by Teofimo and a right hand to the body by Lopez. I don't know. I had said before that I thought this fight had a chance to be the most exciting fight. So far, it doesn't feel that way. Teo doing a little showboating here. Okay, Barboza do a combination. Teo was avoiding all of them, but then got caught with a little right on the end of it. Teo looks pretty comfortable. Teo looks pretty comfortable at this point. I don't know if... The thing is, Teofimo's comfortable, but I don't know if Barboza has the goods to really make him uncomfortable at this point. We're going to be entering round 9. And I don't know what Barboza is going to do here. He's not so much of a pressure fighter. He's more of a counter puncher. But it seems like he's having a hard time catching Teo clean with anything meaningful. He's caught Teofimo clean with jabs mostly, and sometimes with right hands. But nothing really impactful, except for that one right hand in the 6th. All right, we're here in round 9. Teo giving different looks, kind of posing a little bit, flashing a little bit of a shell. Barboza getting a little more active coming forward. Okay, left hook around the guard. Teo tries to throw a counter left. I think I don't know. I'm hoping to see a little more urgency from Barboza in the next round or two, unless he thinks he's winning this fight, which maybe he does, or maybe he thinks it's really close. Oh, Teo with a nice combination there. Not much landed, but a little right to the body by Barboza. Teofimo now throws back to the body. Barboza now coming forward again, looking to get it back. Teo with his hands real low, turning as Barboza throws. Now puts his hands up on the ropes. Really goading Barboza, kind of, just being playful, being a little showboaty, but I think he realizes that Barboza is having a hard time catching him, and even if when Barboza does catch him, I don't think it bothers Teo all that much. Oh, god damn. Long day at work. I don't know, man. I was hoping... I had some higher hopes for this fight. It's very technical, but not really any big moments so far. Jim Lampley paying homage to the legendary photographer who's there at ringside. Wearing a candy cane looking shirt with red with white stripes. Ooh, good right hand. They just showed a replay that Teo caught Barboza with. Good solid cross. They showed a little replay of a cross to the body also that Teo landed, and Barboza was landing a little counter left as that was happening. So far, it just seems like it's a solid performance by Teo, and Barboza just doesn't seem to have the goods to overcome the dynamic athlete, the dynamic athleticism and skills of Teofimo. Barboza is skilled himself. Don't make no mistake about it. But I think he's just having trouble really connecting on anything big, anything that would really earn Teofimo's respect. So far, total punches landed in round 10 here. 95 for Lopez, 49 for Barboza. Total thrown, 411 for Lopez, 312 for Barboza. So definitely, showing Teo is widening the gap over the course of this fight. Anytime Barboza tries to come forward, rush forward with a combination, Teo usually is able to, pretty quickly get out of range. But I will say that Teo's landed some shots, some clean shots, but hasn't seemed like Barboza's been hurt at all over the course of this fight. I think there is, I think Teo still has some pop at 140, but not nearly the kind of electric puncher that he was at 135. I think it seems like here at 140, Tio's got, more of a kind of stinging power, stinging sharp. But look, it's been a minute since he's knocked anyone out, since 2022. I just do think that it's because these are bigger fighters than the ones he was fighting at 135. Tio kind of backs himself into the ropes and avoids Barboza's shots, and now he's walking out of the, out to the center of the ring. Barboza throwing some feints. All right, that's the end of that round. We're getting on to it. Getting on to it toward the championship rounds here. I don't know. I was hoping for a little bit more of a dynamic fight here, but it's a solid performance by Tio so far. We're getting into the championship rounds. The next fight that we have is Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. That is particularly interesting because Jose Ramirez is no slouch, and Haney, it's the first time that he's fighting since April of last year, so over a year, against, is when he fought Garcia. I'm curious to see, how does Haney's chin look? I've long been talking about how Haney's got a less than reliable chin. The thing is that Ramirez doesn't have that explosive weapon that Ryan Garcia has. Ryan Garcia has that explosive left hook that he was able to counter Haney's jab with. Ramirez, I don't think, has that kind of weapon, but Ramirez is a pressure fighter. He will be coming forward. Ooh, nice right hand by Teofimo. Ramirez will be coming forward, and he will press the issue with Haney. I think the big question for me is, how does Haney handle the pressure? How does he handle getting hit? If he gets hit, maybe he'll avoid. Maybe he won't get hit real clean in this fight coming up. But we'll see. Barboza getting a little more active now, coming forward, trying to land shots. But Tio doing a nice job of avoiding and disengaging. Yeah, it's the talent disadvantage, as Lampley mentioned, is clear. And not just in the skill department. They're both skilled. Tio is very skilled. But the athletic department is just the fact that Tio is so much more explosive in his movements and just more quick, and is able to just fire off quick combinations and counter between the punches of Barboza. So we're at about a minute left, a little more than a minute left here in round 11. My bet, my parlay that included a Barboza win, looks like it's not going to happen. Interesting. We're seeing a little bit more, urgency by Barboza, but I would like to see him go a little bit more, go for it a little bit more. But maybe his corner is telling him that he's winning, or it's really, really close. Maybe that's what's happening. But okay, good 2-1 there by Barboza, and he landed the one on the end of it. That swivel jab on Tio. Ooh, little exchange there at the end of the round, right after the bell rang. Little spice, little seasoning there at the end of round 11. But not a whole lot to write home about in this fight. I think the main thing really just is the fact that, hey, we're seeing Teofimo back. He's looking good. Can we see him in the ring again in relatively short order against another high-level opponent? You know, some people, I don't know. I mean, that is the question. It's consistency with Teofimo. So we're going to have the round 12 coming up very soon here. But that's kind of the next question for me is moving forward is, can we see him again soon against another high-level opponent? You know, he's, how old is Teo? I think he's in his late 20s now. All right, we're here in round 12. I had hoped that this fight was going to be a real competitive battle, but it's been Teofimo outclassing Barboza. Really not as eventful a fight as I was hoping for. I do have high hopes, though, that the next fight of Haney versus Ramirez and the main event of Ryan versus Rolly, I still have high hopes that those are going to be real eventful fights with some knockdowns, maybe knockouts. We'll see. But so far, this fight has shown that Teofimo is he's back. He's sharp. His power is not, it's still a question mark here at this weight class. But Barboza just does not have enough. Does not have enough to push Teo. And that's, and Teo is showing that he's a class separate, a class apart. And we got a minute 30 left here in the fight. Good right to the body by Teo. Teo coming forward. I will say, I do kind of... Okay. Teo doing a little defensive sequence, backing up, turning. That's kind of, I guess, how Teo is trying to give the crowd its money's worth, in a sense, is that he is doing his showmanship in the ring, where he drops his hands and he uses his little defensive moves and looks off punches. But he's not really going all out for the knockout. He's landing a few shots here and there. But I think maybe Teo also knows that Barboza is a guy who is not going to leave many openings for him to exploit. So maybe the best he ultimately could do is what he's doing here, which is what's going to be a wide decision with some showmanship sprinkled in. But all in all, a strong performance by Teo. And you hope that Barboza gets another shot sometime in the future, but it just wasn't his night. Both men lift up their hands. Teofimo jumps on the corner, on the ring, the ropes there. Oh, is he gonna do it? No, it looked like he was about to do the backflip. But that's gotta be. Oh, he did the backflip and a front somersault. There we go, Teo. I wasn't sure if he was gonna save that for for after the decision. Oof, all right. Ugh. I mean, I think you maybe give round 6 to Barboza. Do you give any other rounds to him? I don't know. Definitely round 6. Maybe there's one other round. I have a hard time thinking there's 2 other rounds. But these should be wide margins. This should be, this should be 119 to 109. Maybe 118, 110. There might be a judge who does it 120, 108. All right, so final punch stats. Teo threw 571, landed 126. Barboza threw 424, landed 70. Overall, Teo landed 72. Okay, no, 72 power punches to Barboza's 32. Sorry, I thought it was percentage. I was gonna be like fucking 72%, but no, it was just the total number of power punches landed there. But yeah, clear. They didn't show the percentage for some reason, but yeah. Clear punch stat advantage for Teofimo over the course of that 12-round fight. Again, it should be 1 to 2 rounds for Barboza. So, let's see now. De La Hoya posing with Barboza after the fight here. Oh, man, and you got Michael Buffer. Oh, yep. I didn't even hear the scores. That was very quick if he said the scores. But yeah, Teofimo gets the decision. Unanimous decision. All right, well, my parlay is cooked now. Oh. That's nice. Teofimo and Barboza both lifting each other's hands. Both smiling and exchanging pleasantries after the fight. Who is this guy doing the ring interview? Oh God! Oh, that was funny. That was cute. Teofimo said, "I'm Dora the Explorer. I'm looking for boots." Oh, that's nice. Teo giving a little motivational speech here at the end of the fight. In the post-fight interview, he gave a nice shout out to Jim Lampley. And Teo said that he does want Boots. He wants to fight Boots at 147. But I don't know. That's a tall order. I mean, that's Teofimo against Boots is I don't know, man. That's not gonna work. I I don't see that working out for Boots. Sorry, not for Boots. I don't see that working out for Teofimo. Boots is big at 147, and Teo is talking about taking on Boots at 147 when Teo was the lineal champ at 135 moved up, became lineal champ at 140. And now if he wants to fight Boots at 147, I'm sorry. Boots is big at 147. And the dude has serious power. And he's got a chin. And Teo has shown that his power is not really the same at 140 as it was at 135. I mean, is it going to be more at 147? I doubt it. And against Boots, who has shown that he's too big for most of these 147 pounders, that's going to be tough, man. That's going to be a tough one. I think Boots beats him up. If they fight at 147, I think Boots smacks him around a little. All right, well, we got the Devin Haney fight coming up next. Haney versus Jose Ramirez. Ramirez, a former unified 140-pound champion. His most recent fight was a loss to Arnold Barboza. He also lost to Josh Taylor some time ago. But Ramirez is he's a pretty good fighter. And he's an aggressive fighter. He comes forward. I don't think he's got a very good jab, though. Not a terribly active jab. I think it's, really this fight, if Haney just uses his jab, pumps out that jab, he can win this fight just based on that. Just using his jab well. I think he could cruise if he does that. If he's not able to keep Ramirez at bay, it'll be interesting to see how Haney holds up getting hit by, a guy who's pretty big, and especially after getting just absolutely destroyed by Garcia a year ago. But I think it's good that he's taken this much time off. I know Garcia had taken, over a year off because he tested positive for Osterine after the fight, and even though he won a unanimous decision over Haney, that decision then got flipped to a no contest because of the positive drug test, and he was given a year-long suspension, and that's why he's finally back tonight. Haney took a year off, I think partially because he got the ever-loving shit kicked out of him, and when you get knocked down like 3 times like that, you gotta take a beat. You gotta wait, and and just let your body recover. Let your body recover. So I think that's a good thing for Haney. So I'm hoping that his chin is recovered from that destruction that Garcia imposed on it. And I think he should be able to cruise in this fight, but we'll see. We'll see. Ramirez is he's tall, he's long, he's aggressive. 5'10", 72-inch reach versus Haney's 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. Ramirez 32 years old, Haney 26. This is a catchweight fight. Catchweight at 144. Haney weighed at 143, and Ramirez 143.8. But rehydrating after that, it'll be significantly more, because Haney's been big for 140. And Ramirez is 5'10", so they'll rehydrate bigger. But yeah, Haney should be able to be fine as long as he uses jab, and as long as he's corrected that stupid mistake where he brings his hand back when he fires the jab. Haney would often boom like that, known as a bow and arrow jab, and that's what allowed him to get caught by Ryan Garcia's lightning fast counter left hook. And Garcia totally knew that, totally planned for it, executed it to perfection, and Haney got his ass kicked. So, I mean, he better have that. That's the very first thing that I and pretty much any boxing fan, any boxing analyst is going to be watching for. The very first jab that Haney throws, is his right hand going to be glued to his chin or not? Okay? Or not. And here's the thing. In the footage that I had seen of Haney before his fight against Ryan Garcia and whatnot, in his training, his hand was there. He kept his hand, his hand was in the right place when he was training, when he was doing his pad work. But during the fight, and during the previous fights, that's when he brought his hand back, brought that bow and arrow there. So it's not like he never trained it properly. It's just he hadn't executed it in the fights properly. So it wasn't a matter of just like knowledge. It was a matter of executing in the fights. And so let's see if he's able to execute in the fight here tonight. We'll be able to know real early, real quickly, whether or not he does. But another question is, does he maintain that as the fight wears on? Because technical flaws tend to come out as you tire, as the fights go on. So, sure, maybe the first couple rounds he shows, I fixed the problem. But then if in round 7 he starts bringing that hand back again, I'm sure Ramirez is going to take note and fire his own left hook. But the thing is that Ramirez does not have that lightning hand speed that Ryan Garcia has, and that Ryan Garcia was able to leverage in countering Haney's flaw and thus kicking his ass. So Ramirez, without having that lightning quickness, is he going to really even be able to take advantage of that flaw if it presents itself? With timing, he could, but it makes it a bit harder. So we'll see. We got a giant, holy shit, he's entering on a giant pickup truck. It's on like hydraulics. Is that Haney or Ramirez? I think that's Ramirez. It says Big Bank on the front of this truck. Man, these entrances, that's pretty cool. Arriving, I think it is Haney. He's coming in this giant ass truck. All right, I mean, and the thing is, that's interesting also here. It's Ramirez. Okay. They're showing a split screen, showing both. Ultimately, Haney is supposed to beat Ramirez here, and then Ryan is supposed to beat Rolly, and the machinations are to have Haney and Ryan fight again later this year in a super highly anticipated rematch. Ramirez could flip the script here. He is a good fighter, and Haney is chinny. So it's possible that he flips the script, and it's possible that Rolly Romero flips the script. He's got some power, and Ryan's got some flaws. But the thing is, I'll talk more about that Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero fight in a bit. But the thing is that Ryan is back with Derek James, and I think that and Rolly has lost a few fights in the past couple of years. He lost via knockout to Isak Pitbull Cruz. He lost to Gervonta Davis. I think he may have lost a bit of confidence in his own chin. And so, if there's anything, Ryan is going to touch you. And will Rolly be able to handle it when that happens? That's the question. But right now, we've got Jose Ramirez making his way to the ring for this fight, for this comeback fight for Devin Haney against a good boxer in Jose Ramirez. Ramirez, this is a huge opportunity for him to really, make the biggest moment of his career come to fruition. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if he can take advantage. We'll have to see if he can close the distance. He is an aggressive fighter. He likes to close the gap and you know, cut off the ring. Will he be able to do that against Devin Haney? I think a big question here has to do with whether, you know, he's able to counter Haney's jab. Haney's got a really good jab. Bow and arrow flaw aside, he's got a quick, sharp, stiff jab that is really one of the better jabs in the sport. It's going to be absolutely crucial for him against a guy like Ramirez. Oh, wow. Fan zone poll of who's going to win is 50-50 exactly. Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez. The fan poll there for DAZN. 50-50. Wow. I'm a little surprised that it's split down the middle like that. I know Jose Ramirez is a very good fighter. But Haney should be a decent favorite here. But I think a lot of people are understandably shook by how thoroughly Ryan whooped Haney's ass. It's fair to be skeptical, and I was skeptical of Haney's chin for a while because I'm talking about him getting rocked by the guy who getting rocked by who the fuck was the fighter who Lomachenko knocked him out with a left to the body. Well, anyway, we saw him rocked a couple times in the past, but obviously what happened against Ryan Garcia was of a different magnitude. All right, so we got Michael Buffer, who's doing the introductions. And he's got a leather jacket on. That's kind of cool. All right, second main event of the evening, and it's 7:45. We're making some progress here. Yep, Jose Ramirez 29-2, 18 knockouts. I just think the thing with Ramirez is that he doesn't have explosive athleticism, which Ryan does have, or at least Ryan has explosive hand speed. Will he be able to take advantage the way that Ryan was? Let's see. God damn it! What the hell was the fighter's name that I was thinking of? All right, I'm gonna find it right now. This is bothering me. Okay. It was. Oh, damn it. Jorge Linares. I knew it. I knew it was an L. I couldn't figure it out. Right. So when Devin Haney fought Jorge Linares, later in the fight, Linares fired off this blistering combination and caught Haney at the end of it with a right. And Haney was clearly wobbled by it. And I remember watching that and being like, "Uh-oh, that's a problem." But man, Haney looks absolutely jacked. Like a goddamn action figure, this guy. Jesus. He is big. God, Haney is fucking ripped up, cut up at this weight class. All right. Well, we're about to see, is Devin Haney back? We're here in round one. I said Haney weighed in at 165 after rehydrating. Man, he's big for this weight. Haney circling the outside. They're tied up now in the center of the ring. I'm waiting to see Haney throw a jab here. He hasn't thrown a jab here in the first, 30 seconds. Haney just moving. What is... oh, Ramirez just caught Haney with a jab. Haney is not throwing anything. I have not seen Haney throw. What is going on? There's a jab by Haney, and it looked like he kept his right hand there. But his feet look very... Haney's moving his feet an awful lot, circling the perimeter of the ring. It almost looks like nervous energy to me. A lot of movement. Awful lot of movement. Haney throwing the jab. His right hand comes off a little bit still. He's still not... I don't know, man. I would have kept it absolutely glued, and I'm not sure that he's totally fixed it. I'm not sure he's totally fixed that bow and arrow flaw. I mean, let's see. But I think Haney's a little gun shy right now. He's landed a couple of jabs here and there, but okay, Ramirez coming forward, Haney with a good jab there. Haney really... just a lot of movement. I give Ramirez the first round just based on the fact that Haney got all 10,000 steps in round one. Haney just was on his bicycle, just circling the perimeter of the ring over and over. Did not throw much. I don't know. I'm a little perplexed by that first round by Haney, if you couldn't tell already. A little perplexed. Let's see if he loosens up. I think Bill was telling him, you got to get settled. You got to get settled. He's right. Haney does not look like he's settled down. I don't want to be too... the Velcro in his right shoe is still undone. I don't want to be too fatalistic or too just prisoner of the moment or whatever, but he's moving a lot again here at the start of round two. I'm starting to wonder if he is psychologically over the ass kicking that was administered to him. Because it looks to me like he really doesn't want to get hit with anything. He's moving an awful lot. Okay, now he's actually staying... Well,
Nope, now he's moving again. Sorry, I thought his feet were calming down for a moment, but they weren't. Yeah, maybe he just needs to get settled. But like, I don't know. I'm wondering if he's mentally over getting his ass kicked. Maybe something happened in sparring that rocked him a little bit, but he's showing some pretty nice footwork, and but like he's not throwing much. I think Ramirez needs to be a little more aggressive too. Ramirez is coming forward, but he's not throwing much either. Okay, good little left hook by Haney.
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Oh, stop. Haney with a double jab, moving forward. Yeah, no, okay. The commentary crew seems to be. I think the commentary crew seems to be in agreement with what I have been saying earlier. Is that they also think that Haney is really just concerned about not getting hit. Yep, that's what I'm saying too. Jim Lampley just said some things stay in the consciousness and just won't go away. That's what I've been saying too. Is that it just looks to me like Haney is gun shy. He's gun shy, man. He's nervous. He's really doesn't want to get caught, and he's moving a lot, and he's not throwing a lot, and you can't win a fight just by circling the perimeter. You know, you can't just willy pep your way. Damn. I'm gonna tweet out something. I think. Yeah, guys. Yeah. Um, I'm sorry, guys. I just tweeted out something, and it might be really stupid. But I think Devin Haney, he might be done. He might be done as a fighter. I mean, he landed a nice little left hook here. Ooh, good left hook. All right, there was a little exchange there by Haney and Ramirez. But yeah, Ramirez is not being nearly aggressive enough. And wow, they get okay. The guy scoring it gave the first 2 rounds to Haney. I guess maybe I don't know. It was so. Man, yeah, we saw a nice little exchange there by the two. What is going on? I mean, do we want to see Haney? I mean, does anyone want to see Haney fight? I mean, does anyone want to see this? Okay, Haney with a hard right. I don't see this version of. I mean, like, does anyone want to see this version of Devin Haney headline a main event? Does anyone? He's actually at least throwing a few punches now, but he's still just moving on the outside, circling the outside. It's like, you know, put me to sleep. This is like. Like, this is just. It's just uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see Haney fighting like this. He's making Shakur Stevenson look like a like Rocky Marciano, and that's no shade to Shakur Stevenson. I think Shakur is extremely skilled, and I like watching Shakur fight, generally speaking. But you know, Shakur does a lot of evasion. This is just like. I'm just all right. Let's see. Maybe he just needs to warm up a little bit more. He was throwing a few more punches in the prior round. But like also Ramirez, what the hell are you doing? Why aren't you throwing more punches, Ramirez? Like Haney is clearly showing you that he is absolutely terrified of getting hit with a punch. He is absolutely terrified of getting hit. Okay, Ramirez just swung for the fences there. That's not. I don't know. I just try and connect. Just touch him. Oh, is that a right hand there by Ramirez? I mean, who wants to see... what we're watching is a fucking cardio session. This is... what are we... But the thing is, Ramirez is not doing nearly enough either. Ramirez is doing a lot of coming forward and a lot of movement, but he's not throwing a lot of punches. I mean, I'm sorry, this event, it looks like you're going to need, oh, good counter right hand by Haney as Ramirez was coming in. I don't know. Maybe that was a good counter right by Haney. Maybe he just needs a fight to regain his confidence. I mean, it seems like he might be slowly, an emphasis on slowly regaining some confidence here. I kind of worry when he gets clipped with a meaningful punch, how he's going to respond, how he's going to react. Maybe it'll help him. Maybe he gets clipped by a hard punch and he takes it well, and he'll realize, okay, I can take a punch, I can get hit and be okay. Maybe that'll happen. But I don't know. I'm very concerned about Devin Haney at this point. Maybe he'll loosen up, but right now, my feeling is that, at least in this moment, in this prisoner of the moment, I think he's done as a top fighter. I think he might be psychologically broken. Maybe I'm being harsh. Maybe I'm being over the top about it. Maybe I'm being over the top about this, but I mean, it seems like Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero is going to have to really, I don't want to say save this event, but really kind of save this event. I mean, Teofimo versus Barboza was an okay fight. At least there were some punches thrown. There were punches thrown in that fight. Oh my God. This is a very different Devin Haney. This is Devin Haney the dancer. We are seeing Devin Haney, the bachata master. Devin Haney, the waltz. Oh, hold on. I gotta think of some alliterations here. Okay, Devin Haney, the let's think, Macarena master. No. What are some different forms of dance? Yeah, we are seeing Devin Haney, the merengue maestro. Devin Haney, the bachata enthusiast. Devin Haney, the okay, I mean he's dancing. He's dancing his way around here. There's a right hand there, okay. A jab. I mean, he's fighting like he's fighting to survive. He's fighting. He throws a punch here and there, saying, "I hope this lands. I hope this keeps you off me. I hope you don't want to hit me." It's just this guy is, I think, clearly mentally shook up still. And we're talking over a year later. This is, I mean, this whole event is for Haney to potentially win this fight against Ramirez, and then for Ryan, they're hoping, wins his fight against Rolly Romero, to then lead to a giant rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney later this year. But this is not a boxer that the public is going to want to pay to see. I mean, maybe they'll pay to see it just because of the drama that had led up to the fight and the drama that ensued after the fight, with Garcia testing positive for Osterine and them firing back and forth each other on social media. So people may want to see it just for that alone. But as far as what product you're getting, as far as the type of action that you are getting in the ring, this ain't it. What Devin Haney is selling, I'm not buying. I don't want to buy. I will, just because I kind of have to cover this stuff. At least, I choose to for the YouTube channel. But like the regular viewer doesn't want to see that. That's and I mean Haney is fortunate, very fortunate, that Ramirez is not throwing much. Haney's very fortunate that Ramirez is not throwing much, because I think a fighter who, shows another 15-20% more aggression, and Haney will be, really in some trouble. Garcia's not being, or not Garcia. Ramirez is not being smart about this, and we're seeing so few. We've seen 5 power punches landed by Ramirez, and 15 actually landed by Haney, which is kind of shocking. Probably just like some straight rights here and there, and left hook here and there. But it's amazing that Ramirez is not throwing more. He comes forward, he's cutting off the ring, he gets Haney's back on the ropes, and he barely throws anything. Maybe Ramirez is a little bit spooked by Haney's hand speed, and by the fact that he has been clipped a few times by Haney's punches. So maybe Ramirez is a little bit spooked by that. But so far, this fight is an absolute dud. This is a stinker. This is, I mean, if you did not buy this event, I mean, you need Ryan and Rolly to kind of make this event worth even half the price. Which is a shame. It's a shame because this and we're seeing Haney get a little bit more active here. There's a jab. He's getting a little bit more active, a little bit more comfortable. Good jab there by Ramirez. And that's sure to slow down Haney's slow activity. Oh, okay, there's a little right to the body by Haney. All right, seems like Haney's getting a little more comfortable. A little more loose, a little less nervous, but he's still moving he's still, I mean, he's like sprinting around the perimeter of the ring. He's sprinting around the perimeter of the ring. And, tries to tie up as soon as Ramirez throws punches. Oh, good little left hook by Ramirez. And Haney's leg does a little bit of a shake there. I don't know if that was just a loss of balance, or if he got a little wobbled by that left hook on the inside that Ramirez landed. I'm not sure. For God's sake, Ramirez needs to throw some more punches. Good Lord. When he actually throws some punches, that's the thing about Devin Haney, which I've talked about in the past, is that Haney, I feel like Haney has excellent, like, 1 to 3 punch defense. Like, you throw 1 to 3 punches, Haney is pretty excellent defense where he's going to be able to avoid it. But you throw more than 3 punches, you can overwhelm Haney. Like, he is not a Shakur Stevenson. He's not a Dimitri Bivol. Like, he doesn't have that great a defense. I feel like it's great for 1 to 3 punches, but then beyond that, you start throwing flurries, the dude gets caught. And if Ramirez can just do that, he's backing Haney up. He's doing the job of getting his back to touch the ropes, but then he leaves room for Haney to continue to circle the perimeter. If he can actually, once Haney's back touches the ropes, throw some fucking punches, move forward, don't just swing a home run punch here and there, then he's going to catch Haney. And for God's sake, test his chin. Because a little left hook on the inside when Haney was trying to tie him up and stop him. And I saw Haney's leg wobble a little bit. Maybe it was balance. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But Ramirez is not letting us answer questions. He's not asking the question. That's what Ramirez is not doing. Oh, we've seen a little break up there in the signal. And Ramirez is throwing. I got to tell you this right now. Oh, good little counter left by Haney as Ramirez came in. I mean, we'll see what happens with Garcia and Romero. Because Romero could beat Garcia. But if Garcia wins, I think you clearly got to back Ryan in a rematch against Haney. I think you clearly got to. Because, I mean, Haney looks spooked here against Ramirez. He looks spooked here against Ramirez a year later. I mean, I got to imagine that he is going to be kind of shitting his pants against Ryan. So, I'll tell you that. I think I got to back back Ryan if they fight again. At least at this rate, we're seeing absolute. We're seeing a poor performance here, at least from what it looks like to me. It's a scared performance, hesitant. It's just not a. This is not something that will drive excitement. And Ramirez comes forward throwing punches, a few punches there, but nothing really lands. Okay, now Haney actually threw a few punches there with some conviction on them. It was the very end of the round, but he threw a jab and a nice right hook with some real conviction, some real steam on it. Didn't land, but at least he took a swing. Okay. Oh, man. Well. That's cool. He gets those widgets. Boy, what a stinker of a fight here, fellas. I mean, it's we're getting some questions answered, but not others. The questions we're getting answered are: is Haney still mentally affected by the ass kicking that Ryan Garcia delivered to him? Clearly, yes. That's a clear question we're getting answered. Another question that's not being asked, or certainly not being answered, is Haney's chin, okay? Can't really answer that because Ramirez hasn't thrown enough to land. Hasn't landed much. So, hard to tell. But man, this is just a Ramirez provides pressure in the sense that he's coming forward. And there's a couple right hands that Haney avoids. He keeps coming forward, but he's not. And where is his jab? He's now he throws a couple of jabs finally. But it's just it's weird to be a pressure fighter, and yet you don't. It's weird to be a pressure fighter that doesn't have a active, educated, frequent jab. Like, I don't get how you... whatever. He doing a decent job using his lead hand there to control. Now he's tying up again. Haney using that lead hand pretty nicely with a little lead uppercut. Haney actually throwing a few punches here. A double jab up top and a right hook to the body. Haney with a lead uppercut and then a jab. Haney with a check hook there. We're actually seeing him throw some punches now here in round 8. I'm seeing more punches than he's thrown in the past. Little right hand, left hook. Haney seemed to be feeling himself more here at the end of the 8th round. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come. We got a nice shot of Turkey a la Sheikh here. Turkey must not be happy with this fight. Okay. All right, what round are we in? Round 9. Okay, well, Haney was showing a little bit of signs of life at the end of round 8. So I'm hoping that this means he's going to open up his offense just a little bit more. But maybe it's just that he gets a little bit more brave at the end of the round because he knows that the bell is coming. Because I feel like I did see him open up a little more at the end of a couple of rounds. For now, he's just kind of, again, avoiding and circling, using some feints. Like Ramirez, that's the thing, is like I've been complaining more about Haney because he's the guy who's had the higher expectations. And former undisputed champion and everything, like, but Ramirez has been a huge disappointment this fight. He's just not been nearly aggressive enough in his punching. He comes forward, and yet he just doesn't throw a lot of punches. Good jab by Haney. That's the thing also, is Ramirez does not use head movement. His head stays very still. He's kind of just got a high guard there, but his upper body movement, his head movement in particular, is just virtually non-existent.
Good jab by Haney. Other good jab. Oh, a 1-2-3 by Haney. Yeah, that's the end of the round. Holy Christ, Ryan's going to be coming out in a Batmobile. A freaking Batmobile. That is pretty cool. That's cool. I'm gonna tell you, this is just holy Christ. Oh my God, I rushed home from work to live stream for a fight like this. Good jab by Ramirez. I just, oh my God, this is just it's the kind of fight that just makes you want to just dunk your head in a fishbowl until the bubbles stop. It's the kind of fight that, you know, you see a toaster and you're like, you know, where's the silverware? Like, it's just, it's the frustration. The frustration makes you want to, I don't know. I mean, like, it's, oh my God. Like, what are we watching here? Like, it's the kind of fight that makes me want to apologize to Jim Lampley for having to be there and call this. Now, oh my God, Ramirez throws like a 5-6 punch combination. What a shock. He's actually throwing a few punches here in round 10 and making Haney have to defend and actually avoid some of these shots instead of just circling the perimeter. Oh my God. And Ramirez had the audacity to do a fist pump at the end of that round. Oh, Roberto Duran is there? Oh, Jesus. Connor Benn. Yeah. We see, oh my God, Shakur Stevenson's there. Is there next to Mike Tyson. It's the kind of fight that makes you want to apologize to the crowd. Holy shit, Edgar Berlanga is iced the hell out with one of the ugliest pair of sunglasses I've seen in my life. And there's Clarissa Shields. I mean, this is the kind of fight where I think Devin Haney owes... No, sorry, not just to Haney. Both fighters owe a sincere apology to the crowd, to the promoters, and I think at the end of this fight, both fighters should walk up to Turki Al Sheikh and just bow and maybe even have flagellate themselves a little bit. So there was some kind of physical price paid over the course of the fight. I mean, it's just like, I mean, this is the stuff nightmares are made of. Like, what do we? You see more punches thrown on a fucking Quaker farm. I don't know what. I don't know how the crowd. I don't know how the crowd hasn't started booing. That's the biggest mystery to me. Where are the boos? Boos drinking. Where is the jeering? There needs to be some goddamn jeering from this crowd. Where is they gotta boo this? This is like I don't usually like fights being booed, because a lot of times fans will boo. Sometimes fans will boo fights, where there's things happening or there's some real action, there's some high skill stuff happening. This is they're getting a little looser here, but it's round 11. It's round 11, for God's sake. Oh my God. Haney throws a 1-1-2 there. His feet have not calmed down since the first round. Like, I don't know. This is I'm sorry. This is just terrible. I really hope you. I mean, this is the kind of fight where yeah, as Jim Lampley rightly points out, not a moment of drama so far in the fight. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Haney and Ramirez. Oh, the crowd. Turkey. Oh, the crowd. Turkey. The zone. The crowd. Commentators. Turkey. The zone. Viewers. I mean, this is a fight where you owe apologies need to be made, like serious written apologies. Not a moment of drama. Haney Ramirez. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm writing up a post about the tweet right now, because the apologies need to be given. They need to be delivered. Sincere ones. Sincere apologies. The crowd, commentators, Turkey, DAZN, the viewers. Just a I mean, this is just Ramirez. Ramirez kind of turkey design that we were. I mean, like, this is just how do you? This is. I just can't with this. Oh my God, Jim Lampley. Oh my God. I mean, you're just waiting for the next fight here, and you're hoping. Really, what you're doing here is you're hoping that you can forget. You can forget about this. This is you're hoping that you memory hole this entire fight. You're hoping that you can memory hole it because this is just. I mean, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your money. My back is getting a little stiff here. I'm just like you think this is the kind of fight where you're looking at your checklist. You're thinking about your next day. What do you have to do? What are your plans? You know, it's just like I swear, if any of them raise their fist after this. Oh my God. Oh no. Don't you dare stand on the ropes. Don't you dare stand on the ropes. Don't you dare. You stay put. You stay in the ring and you apologize. Get on the I mean, that Chris Mannix the post-fight interview needs to be apologies. The Haney Ramirez post-fight interview must only consist of apologies. I mean, like this is absolutely. Thank God it's over. That's all I can say. Thank the heavens that is over. Oh my God. There is no way that Ryan and Rolly could ever produce just a piece of stinking trash like that. No way. Devin Haney is absolutely. I think Devin Haney could produce something like that. Maybe Shakur could produce something like that. We sort of saw something like that, but not even on this level. Devin Haney might be one of a kind here. And no, Ramirez, two of a kind. Ramirez was shit too. Thank God this is over. Thank God that fight's over. And we can move on to Ryan versus Rolly. A fight that actually has a real chance of delivering action, delivering drama, delivering a knockout. What we watch the sport for. Right? We're here to see limits tested. We're here to see the physical and mental barriers of professional athletes tested to their limits. You know, that's the special thing about boxing, about fighting in general, is that sports, right, they're a metaphor for battles. And in boxing and in fighting, there's no metaphor. It's literal. We did not see a battle. We did not see a test. We did not see anything of any significance in Haney versus Ramirez. We have a good chance of seeing that in the next fight, and I am just wow. I mean, what's the decision going to be? It should be a no contest. No contest. No fight took place. Decision, I mean, the Haney-Ramirez decision should be a no contest because no contest actually took place. All right, Haney gets the decision. I mean, like, okay, Haney got the decision. Of what? Of what? I don't know, man. I mean, this is just, okay. Boy, all right. That was like, I don't know. What kind of, I need some chocolate. I'm having a Hershey's Kiss. I need it. I need some kind of chocolate, some kind of sweetness, something to give me a little bit of energy, of happiness, after that display. Boy. Waiting for the bad taste to get out of my mouth from that fight, because that was just... I literally had to put some chocolate in my mouth to get over that last fight. As I said in my tweet, it should be a no contest. That last fight should be ruled Haney versus Ramirez, no contest. No fight actually took place. No fight took place. I wish they did the post-fight interviews. I wanted post-fight interviews. Okay, because the interviewer needed to extract sincere apologies from both Devin Haney and Jose Ramirez. I mean, now we're getting a little bit of the in-between material, the interstitial stuff, before we get to the final main event here of Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero. I'm just, man, that was a really, I mean, in some ways, that might be, I said that, like, I hope I met, like, this is the kind of fight you hope you memory hole. It's also the kind of fight, I wonder if it's the kind of fight where it's like, that fight was so bad, I remember where I was when it happened. You know, like, it's the kind of fight where you're like, you know, like, I'm sorry, I got all different kinds of takes about what we just saw. I'm gonna have to put together a video of just, like, it just talks about how bad that fight was. Because I don't know. That is absolutely horrendous. Horrendous fight that was. All right, I think we need... Okay, well... Yeah, and I haven't liked Haney for a while. I mean, I haven't liked him for various reasons. I haven't liked him because, I don't know, he did this whole thing where he tried to, he acted like a dick. He was trying to come off as a bad boy, but in the same time, he was trying to come off as like he was just his grandma's boy, and he was really a good guy, and, you know, just he come off as very insincere to me, for one thing. Another thing, I don't know, he was a dick about Lomachenko after he got the decision against Lomachenko. He was a real dick about, you know, to Lomachenko. And then and his fighting style is now, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons that now I don't like Haney. I don't think. I mean, this was such a bad fight. I wonder if, I mean, Haney held up his end of the bargain in the sense that he got the decision, he got the win. If Ryan is able to win against Romero, the conceit behind this event is that it leads up to a massive rematch between Garcia and Haney. But I wonder how much of an appetite is there going to be for that fight after what we just watched. I mean, again, like I said before, maybe there still will be some appetite just because of the bad blood between the two of them and because of the fact that, that was an action-packed fight. And, Ryan was on Osterine, so can he actually be Haney? But, the thing is, what we just saw was so bad, and Haney looks so mentally timid that it's I don't know. I don't really care to see him anymore. I don't care to see him again. I think the dude was broken. I think getting his ass kicked the way he did against Ryan, mentally, just defeated him. So I don't need to see that fight again. I don't know how to see that rematch. I'd rather see Ryan take on Boots. I'd rather see Ryan step up to 147, take on Boots. I'd have fun with that fight. Or I'd rather see Ryan and Teofimo. See Ryan and Teofimo fight each other. That would be fun. That could be exciting. They'll throw punches. They're not afraid to get hit. So yeah, I think that. I think it may have been that fight. Maybe that was a death knell to Haney's career. And if it was, I don't have a problem with it. Oh God, they're actually okay. Yeah, I mean they have these prepackaged ads and whatnot prepared in the fight, and you're seeing a whole lot of Garcia versus Haney stuff here. And, after that fight, who the hell wants to see it? Who the hell wants to see it? I don't. Man, okay. It's just weird to see. It's just funny to see all the Haney and Garcia stuff there and in these little ads. Why? So, anyway. Ryan versus Rolly. That's what's coming up next. That I have some excitement for, just because these guys are going to throw punches. For one thing, also, Ryan and Rolly, they part of the build-up for this fight is that the two of them had some hard sparring between the two of them leak out, I think in 2018 it was, footage where we saw Haney, there's not Haney, God. Ugh. We saw Ryan land some sharp punches on Romero, but then Romero actually kind of bullied Ryan in the ring. Landed some real good shots on Ryan and pressured him, and Ryan didn't know how to deal with the pressure. But again, that was sparring. It was some hard sparring when Ryan was under the tutelage of Oscar De La Hoya, and Romero was under the tutelage of Floyd Mayweather at the time. And these two have kind of been on a bit of a crash course against each other over the course of their careers. I think Ryan wanted Romero after he knocked out Duarte. The thing is, though, Romero has lost by knockout to Gervonta and to Isaac Pitbull Cruz. So there's some questions now about how his chin is at this point. Both of them are, well, I guess Gervonta is a big puncher. Isaac is a sturdy puncher, definitely. But yeah, there's questions about how his chin is at this point, Rolly. But he does have some power, and Ryan has some weaknesses. Particularly, Ryan is, for a while held his chin too high in the air. He also,
when he throw his famous left hook and other punches, Ryan does not do a good job of using his offhand for protection, right? Because when you throw, every time you throw a punch, your offhand should be in position to protect you, right? You throw the jab, your right hand is right here, as Haney has not figured out. Throw the right, your left hand is there. Boom, 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 boom. You're always protected from the counter. Ryan doesn't do a good job at that. I mean, comically bad at times. Or see Ryan throw his left hook and his offhand is like down here. It's not even in frame. So the counter punch is wide open. Holy shit, we got Ryan. Ryan is coming out of what looks like a full model, full scale Batmobile. Holy Christ! He's getting the Batmobile. That is pretty cool. Ryan's right there in the Batmobile. So, yeah, they're talking about the commentary team's talking about how Ryan could be the face of boxing and whatnot, and it's he's the lifeblood of boxing in America, and with his social media presence and everything. Some of that's true. Canelo, I think, is really absolutely still the face of boxing. Canelo is, even in America, I think Canelo is still the face of boxing. Maybe Ryan in the future, maybe some, but the thing is that Ryan is just so he's so mercurial. He's so mentally. He just I don't know. He did have that kind of weird breakdown. Hopefully he's past that. Hopefully he's beyond those demons or whatever. But he's not going to be able to be the proper carry the sport if he continues to have issues like that. But let's see. But anyway, it's interesting with Ryan and Rolly. The two of them had this hard sparring session back in 2018 that leaked out, and where Rolly seemed to have gotten the better of him and was really pressuring Ryan and beating him up. Ryan turning, and the two of them had some friction with each other over that sparring, and Rolly saying, "Yeah, I beat the shit out of him," but it was just sparring, so it doesn't mean anything. And Ryan saying how Rolly he's gotten a lot of mileage using that, and good on him for it. So they kind of blustered back and forth at each other over the years over that. But apparently when Ryan was going through his mental health issues, Rolly actually reached out to Ryan in a genuine way to try and show support. And apparently that was pretty meaningful to Ryan. So it seems like the two of them actually have kind of, made amends behind the scenes. They have their build up, and they had their little trash talking, their build up and whatnot. But it does seem like there's a certain layer, a foundation of respect that the two of them have for each other. So it's an interesting kind of nuanced relationship that I think the two of them have. Oh my God, they've got the Batmobile. So every fighter has been kind of exiting a vehicle when they make their way to the ring, because this is taking place at Times Square. And Ryan is coming out of a Batmobile, like a Val Kilmer kind of Batmobile, not the Christian Bale Batmobile Bat Tank. This is more like the classic comic book Val Kilmer kind of Batmobile. Very cool. God, the cameraman, can you shaky as all hell.
Okay. Jim Lampley commenting on Rolly Romero's strong-looking legs. Mine's one of probably the craziest looking calves on a boxer must have been Manny Pacquiao, at least from what I know of. He had like fucking holiday hams down there. For God's sake, how long is it going to take for the Batmobile to get there? Ryan Garcia lifting his glove out through the top of the mobile. All right, folks, we are getting close to the time here for the main event of the evening, Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. Ryan Garcia, of course, has one of the most potent weapons in the entire sport with that lightning-fast left hook. And he especially uses it as a devastating counter. He's landed it upstairs. He's landed it downstairs. Devastating body shot knockout to Luke Campbell. He's knocked out, guys with that left hook to the head. It's a devastating weapon. You know who Ryan Garcia reminds me of? I think I've said this in a video before, but Ryan Garcia, he in a lot of ways is kind of like a Deontay Wilder. Mostly from complexion. Mostly like Deontay Wilder, mostly because of the fact that both are charismatic. They're both charismatic. They're both explosive athletes. They both have a absolutely deadly weapon, right? With Deontay Wilder, it was his right hand, his cross in particular. With Ryan Garcia, his left hook. And both of them are really fundamentally flawed fighters. Deontay Wilder had a very late start to boxing. Started boxing at like 19 years old. And he just, he's always had some real fundamental flaws in his style. And Ryan Garcia has some fundamental flaws in his style too. He holds his chin too high. He doesn't protect well with his offhand. His footwork can be a bit sloppy. But both of them have what Teddy Atlas would call the eraser, right? You can erase all the mistakes that you make. You got that one weapon that can erase everything. So Ryan Garcia, Deontay Wilder, that's kind of I think in some ways a fair comp. Boy, it's fun to have Michael Buffer on the mic on the announcing mic, and then Jim Lampley on the commentating mic. That's just that's a great thing. All right, folks, we're getting ready here. Michael Buffer doing his pre-fight announcements. Oh, my back is absolutely stiff as a board here. Holy Christ. And I got a massage yesterday, too. And yet my back is still just brutal. I think it's from sitting up. Like, I'm not like, if I was like, I'd be chilling like this if I was just watching the fight, but I gotta be in front of the camera here, so I gotta be sitting up. Okay. You see this weird cane? It's working out nuts in my back while we wait for this fight to get started. Rolly Romero, 16 wins, 2 losses, 13 wins by knockout. Fighting out of Las Vegas. By the way, in this fight, if you're watching it or if you're just hearing the ambient volume from the fight through me, you're going to be hearing a lot of... that's how Rolly... that's how he exhales when he punches. It's extremely annoying. Oof. All right. Put that cane down. Okay, we are just about ready to get this main event going. Got a nice view of the crowd here. All right, both men in the center of the ring. God knows they can't do worse than what Haney and Ramirez just did. That's right. All right, we got a tentative start from both. I like the way that Ryan looks. I like the way Ryan looks just off the bat. We're seeing Ryan throw some feints out there. We're seeing Ryan move around a little bit. I like what I'm seeing just early on from Ryan, just with how he's moving. He's back with Derek James. He had left Derek James briefly, but he's back with Derek James, and I think that we're starting to see a little bit of the product of him getting some of the more time in with that quality trainer. Nice little jab there by Ryan. Ryan using some feints, using some foot feints. God, Ryan's head of hair. It's like a Sterling Archer. Both these guys, their hairlines are absolutely tremendous. Okay. Oh, it was a little left hook attempt by Ryan. Again, we're looking for that. Oh, good stiff jab Ryan throws. I think Rolly Romero has got to be keenly aware of the devastating left hook that Ryan possesses, and continue, and will fire. But so far, Ryan's been pretty intent on just establishing his jab, and he's been throwing to the head, to the body. He's been using feints, foot feints, feinting punches. We're seeing a little more nuance from Ryan than we've seen in the past. Rolly kind of just muscling his way forward and throwing a right hand to the body. Rolly doing making sure he keeps his right hand glued to his chin, because that left hook, when it comes, it's gonna be fast and furious. Pause. That's the end of the first round. Tentative first round, but more action than 9 rounds of Haney versus Ramirez. So, already we're ahead of the curve here, or ahead of the pace. Okay. Dylan Dennis has a pretty good, I don't like Dylan Dennis, but he put out a tweet about the Haney versus Ramirez fight, saying Devin Haney really put the city that never sleeps to sleep. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Well, we're moving on to round 2. And Rolly kind of throwing out the jab. Ryan responds with a jab. Oh, whoa! Rolly knocks down Ryan with a left hook of his own. Caught Ryan with a left hook on the inside. Ryan gets up, and he gets up, and now Ryan throws his own left hook. Didn't look like it really caught Romero, but now Romero throws a hard right to the body. Ryan tries to counter Romero, and they're wrestling a little bit. Referee breaks him up. We've already gotten way more action than the last fight. Jab to the body by Romero. Romero throws a left upstairs, but Ryan blocks. Ryan with a stiff jab, and then followed up with a left hook. And Ryan with a hard right on the inside as they're tussling. Ryan, hard right as they're wrestling there. Ooh, man, Ryan's got he swings that left hook out wide, but it's just a whip, devastating. And he's so quick. That's the problem. Is like he throws a wide hook, but he's so quick with it that it's got to be hard to counter. I mean, if you time it right, you can do it with the good right hand. But anyway, Rolly with a knockdown here. Ooh, an overhand right by Rolly. Ryan now coming forward. He's got to be careful. Referee breaks him up. Man, okay. Ryan is kind of inching his way forward. Both of them are hesitating here. 30 seconds left in the round. They're both kind of tight now, hesitating. Rolly just sticking out his arm, trying to establish some kind of distance for some reason. Rolly with a jab to the body. Ryan comes forward with some jabs. Rolly backs out of range. Round's going to end in a whipping left hook. Looked like it clipped Rolly. And that's the end of the round. So that's going to be a 10-8 round for Rolly Romero with the knockdown. He caught Ryan with a left hook on the inside. Left hook to the head. Ooh, look at that watch that Derek James is wearing. Oof, that is nice. Waiting for a replay because it might have been 2 hooks that Rolly threw. Okay, here's a replay, and we see Rolly, wide swinging left hook, and then he follows. So he landed the first left hook clean. The first left hook clean landed on Ryan, and then Ryan put up his guard, and he threw another left hook that Ryan caught on the arm, but that then knocked him down. I think Ryan was hurt by that first left hook, and then the second one just kind of pushed him over. But he was first hurt by that first clean one. All right, we're here in round 3. Good point made by the announcing team that this is the first fight at 147 for both Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero. So that is a good point. And Ryan has to get used to the power at this weight class. Okay, some feints flashed by Ryan. Gets Rolly to back up a bit. So the thing is, Rolly, though, is his right hand is a little bit loose there from his chin. I'm waiting to see when Ryan is going to whip that left hook. Ryan has been establishing his jab. And so I'm wondering, when is Ryan going to potentially feint the jab and then come around with that left hook? Try and get Rolly to bring that right hand forward to parry the jab, but feint it and come around with the left hook. I'm sure Rolly probably prepared for that, but I think Ryan, trying to see if I see Ryan feinted the jab there, but Rolly still kept his right hand on his chin. So I think Ryan's thinking of that, but Rolly's not giving it to him, at least not yet. Good jab by Ryan to the body. Ryan, another double jab coming forward. Rolly returns a jab to the body. We're seeing Rolly kind of using a measuring stick there. Ryan circling around the outside a little bit. Tension. We're not, both of these guys have power, and we've already seen a knockdown here. Oh, Ryan just fired a left hook, and I think Rolly caught it there on his guard. Yeah, it is interesting that Ryan has not thrown quite as many left hooks yet as as I'm used to seeing from him. And that might be a Derek James change, because Ryan will sometimes spam that left hook, and it can become predictable. And that's how Gervonta countered Ryan, is that Gervonta baited the left hook out of Ryan and then rolled and then bang, counter. Oh, Ryan just went for the left hook, and Rolly rolled under it. Ooh, a little right hand there. Okay, that's the end of the round. It's funny. I don't even like. I feel like it's in my head. I haven't really been doing that much scoring of the fight. Zakaria Bones, who wins this fight? Rolly got a knockdown in round 2. I have some faith in Ryan that he is going to pull it off. So I have faith in Ryan, even though he got knocked down by Rolly. But either guy could win. Ryan has his flaws, and Rolly is, has power and is able to expose them. But I have to believe that Ryan left hook is going to find its mark. Oh, nice little feint there by Ryan that got a big reaction from Rolly. That's the thing with feints, is that you feint to get a reaction, and you read what their reaction is, and that's how you can then inform your next move. Because then you can feint, and you can know what their reaction is going to be and plan your follow-up. So we're seeing way more feints from Ryan. Sometimes Rolly reacts big to them. He reacted big in the beginning of the round, reacting less so now. Ryan working his way forward. Rolly is kind of circling the outside. Ryan not throwing as many jabs now. Probably would like to see him get back to that a little bit. There's a good jab. I will say, good amount of pressure, I feel like, on Ryan and Rolly to to deliver in this fight. And they already have, in a sense, with the knockdown, but deliver after that. Holy shit, Haney Ramirez stinker. We got knocked down in round 2, but I think the crowd and the event and Turkey and DAZN and everyone wants more than that. Good jabs to the body there by Ryan. Jab to the body is another way to set up the left hook to the head. A famous example of that was Floyd Mayweather against, I believe it was Ricky Hatton or Zab Judah. Ooh, Ryan goes for a right, but Rolly ducks under. Okay, looks like Ryan's been a little more hesitant in the back half of that round. It's funny, I hadn't even really thought about scoring this fight too much just because I really was not under the impression that it would go the distance. My parlay is screwed, but part of the parlay was that I was taking the under on this fight as far as rounds. The under is set at 6. Under over set at 6.5. The way it's going, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be under. But they're the kind of guys where it can end at any moment. All right, we're getting ready to start the next round. Okay, Ryan's starting off more aggressive here at the start of the round. But now they're tied up. Yeah, we're here in round 5. Okay, we're seeing... God, Rolly is such a weird style. He'll kind of throw a shell, but he'll kind of square with the shell. Ryan feinting, trying to get a reaction out of Rolly. Ryan looking for that counter left hook. Ryan trying to land a right hand, but does not connect. Ooh, okay. Left hook to the body by Ryan. Yeah, that's the thing is I'm not seeing... I feel like Ryan's not throwing enough. Seeing some feints. Gotta see a few more punches here. Ryan went for the left hook there, but Rolly caught it there on the right. Rolly just kind of barreled his way forward into a clinch. Now the referee breaks him up. Referee's got one of the odder haircuts that I've seen. I like those jab upstairs, jab to the body. That's the end of the round. Honestly, kind of a boring round. Okay. Round, I feel like, okay, a little bit of a decent start, and then it just got very boring. See, Derek James giving some instructions, wants Ryan to throw some feints, wants him to step off on an angle. Coppinger's unofficial scorecard, he has Ryan Garcia up by 2 points, actually, and that's accounting for the 2-point round that Romero had in round 2. I don't know how that math works. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was like, wait, the math doesn't work on that. So it should be Romero 48, Garcia 46, but it said on the graphic Garcia 48, Romero 46. They fucked that up. Nice little left hook to the body by Romero there. Ooh, whipping left hook by Ryan. Rolly catches it on his glove. All right. Ryan doing some feinting, circling to his left, which is toward Rolly's right hand. Now they're clinching. Referee's breaking him up. I mean, I'm interested to see Ryan maybe use his right hand more, because he did land it earlier, and Rolly kind of squares a little bit with that little shell that he has, and that makes it, I think, easier to go over the top of that lead shoulder if you're quick with your cross. And I feel like Ryan's got the hand speed; he could be quick with that cross. So I'd like to maybe see some lead crosses from Ryan if he could mix that in. And then if he's able to establish that lead cross a little bit, then he'll be able to feint that lead cross and then come with the left hook. Yeah, we're past the... So wait, no, it's not 6.5 yet. Referee breaks him up. Back in the center of the ring. All right, that's the end of that round. Gotta see some more from Ryan here. There they go. Now they updated the graphic to actually be correct, which shows Coppinger's unofficial scorecard to have Romero up 58-55 for Garcia. So they have Romero up by 3 points. Yeah, it's yeah, it's yeah, it does feel like the knockdown may have spooked Ryan a little bit. That's the thing. Ryan does need to get the left hook going. I think he can get it going by trying to establish that right cross, that lead cross. Just because then you can feint the cross and throw the left hook, or if Ryan starts throwing some more 1-2s, he can start adding a 3 on the end of it. But I'd like to see him do some more, try some more things. Throw some jabs to the body and then try and set up that left hook up to the head. Ryan with a jab to the head and a right hand to the body. Sharp jab by Ryan. Rolly Romero kind of working his way forward. Rolly does a left hook, but Ryan blocks it. Ooh, Ryan attempted do a jab left hook there. Rolly avoided the left hook, but then Ryan followed up with a right. A right kind of on the inside when they both got real close to each other. It is a good punch that Ryan has when they start to clinch. They start to clinch. Ryan does a good job of turning that right hand over on the inside. But again, there's just a lot of tentative energy. That was not last year, Jim Lampley. That fight was in 2023, I think. Rolly doing some weird lead hand stuff to try and feinting to throw Ryan off. Ryan throwing some jabs. Yeah, not a great round. Derek James trying to give Ryan some instruction here in the corner. And he's telling him to hit him in the shoulder, hit him in the, land, which he's totally right. Derek James telling Ryan to bite down, bring that dog out of you. Yeah, Derek James doing what he can in the corner there to motivate Ryan to up his intensity, to up his urgency. Because it's a fight where, you turn over and look and 4 rounds have passed and you haven't done much work. We're in round 8 here. Let's see if Ryan is able to respond to that that plea for urgency and intensity by Derek James.
Good jab by Ryan. And Romero comes forward with a double jab. Both in the center of the ring. A little bit of a... Oof. Rolly just swung for the fences with an overhand right that Ryan backed away and out of range from. Ryan feinting. Throw punches, that's right. Double jab by Ryan. Ooh, Ryan with a right hand on the inside. I feel like that's been the most effective punch from Ryan, is that when they get tangled up on the inside, Ryan's able to throw that right hand. Good jab by Ryan. Been saying I want to see a lead cross by Ryan. Or show me a 1-2. Show me a 1-1-2. You know, jab, jab, right hand. Jab, right hand. Lead, right hand. Yeah, 20 seconds left here in the 8th round, and just waiting for more from Ryan. Ryan with a feint. I think he's going to get an earful from Derek James at the end of this round here, because it doesn't feel like Ryan gave the kind of urgency that Derek James is looking for. That's the thing, is I'd like the camera to show what does Derek James say now between rounds after what he just said before. Getting a nice view of the crowd though. Nice panning camera move here. Across the ring. All right, let's hope that they step it up here in round 9. Right. So we're in the final third of the fight here. Just not enough activity. Romero doing a decent job establishing his jab to the body here. The AI judge, I think, has Romero up by 3 rounds. Nice lead hook there by Romero. Ryan blocked it, but that's the thing. You can block a punch, but the block is the last resort. You know, first option is to just step out of range. Next option might be to pull back, or to parry, or to slip, or to roll, something. The last option, the final resort, is to block the punch, because you do feel the impact of the punch. It's blunted. Good jab by Ryan. Rolly with good jab to the body. Who's winning so far? It seems like Rolly is winning so far. We're in the final 30 seconds here of round 9, but Rolly scored a knockdown in round 2 with a double left hook, actually. It was a first left hook that landed clean on Ryan's chin, and then Ryan brought up his guard, and the second left hook landed on the guard, but I think that kind of just pushed Ryan over. He was hurt, I think, by that first left hook, and then he fell down after getting hit in the guard with the second left hook. So that was a 10-8 round. And some of these rounds have been close, but Ryan has been a bit tentative. So, yeah, it was a knockdown. Yeah, Rolly scored a knockdown in round 2. Unfortunately, Turkey Al-Sheikh got a shot here of Turkey. He is looking bored as all hell. But yeah, no, there was a knockdown. And I think that may have made Ryan a little more timid. He was doing a nice job establishing his jab, particularly early on. And you know, at times he's done a decent job getting his jab going, but the times he hasn't landed that left hook. You know, when he has thrown the left hook, you know, Rolly's caught it on his guard. The best punch that Ryan's really landed consistently is a short right hand when they get close on the inside, and Ryan just landed another one just now at the start here around 10. Good jab to the body by Rolly. That's been one of Rolly's best tools here, has been his spearing jab to the body. I'm curious though why, you know, yeah, Rolly's throwing that jab to the body, but Ryan has the reach advantage, and you know, look to time him as that happens, and time him with the right hand as he comes in. Good jab by Ryan. That's the thing is, like, you want Ryan to take some more chances. He's being, he's being very careful. Not nearly to the level that Devin Haney did in the last fight, where Devin Haney was doing a fucking track meet during the entire fight. But still, not seeing enough work from Ryan. There's an overhand right by Rolly that partially lands. Rolly just tripped after he just threw a swinging overhand right. Ryan came forward, wasn't able to take advantage of that. Referee breaks them up. And the commentator is noting that none of us had on our bingo card noting that we thought that Rolly would outbox Ryan. And Rolly now throwing some left hooks on the inside as the two of them were tussling there. Yeah, Ryan mostly throwing jabs. I feel like he's mostly, on occasion he'll throw a right hand, occasion he'll throw a left hook, but mostly jabs. And Derek James had been imploring him to be more aggressive
and to, throw your right hand, land it even on the arm, just land. You got to throw. But Ryan's not really heeding that advice. And that's the end of that round. You got to feel for Derek James. Let's hear. Yeah, he's saying you're waiting. He's saying get busy. That's Derek James imploring Ryan, find that shit, find it. So I think he means like find that fire, find that urgency. Saying you got to take this. I hope that Ryan listened. Not just listened, but heard him, We're in round 11, people. We're in the championship rounds. Ooh. You got Rolly Romero is in the center of the ring, and Ryan is the one who is circling the outside. Oh my God, people, this has not been. I've said it before. I'll say it again. How's Rolly's defense? I mean, he hasn't had to show much defense. That's the thing, is that Ryan hasn't thrown that much. Like, it's kind of one-off jabs that Ryan's been throwing, and on occasion he'll throw some other shots. To Rolly's credit, he's done a pretty good job of keeping his right hand glued to his jaw as a means of protection from Ryan's lightning left hook. Ryan's thrown some of those, and some of those, Rolly's ducked, others Rolly's caught. So I do give credit to Rolly for doing a nice job of negating that Garcia left hook. Good left uppercut to the body by Rolly there, and went back up to the head. Ryan caught the one to the head on his guard, but the one to the body landed. So yeah, in short, credit to Rolly for negating Ryan's left hook, but ultimately Ryan's been tentative, and so Rolly's defense hasn't really been that tested. This is we're just not seeing. I mean, Garcia's not responding to Derek James's pleas, his imploring. I gotta tell you, this event has been trying to set up a massive rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, and it's been absolutely this is not built excitement for that, let me tell you. Oof, we're going to enter the final round shortly here. Mike Coppinger's unofficial scorecard has Romero up 107 to 101. And abysmal has been an abysmal trailer. I mean, this has just been this has been an abysmal trailer for a rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. This whole event has been an abysmal trailer for that. I gotta tell you, unfortunately, the best fight of the night so far happened before I started streaming. Like the fight that wasn't one of the big three, like the first fight of the evening that was like started at like 5:30 or whatever the hell. I caught some of that before I actually got the stream going because I was working earlier today and I had to rush, from the office to get here and get my thing set up. But while I was getting it set up, I put on the event and was watching. That fight actually was competitive and action-packed and skillful and fun. Teofimo and Barboza, that was an okay fight. It was skillful and, they were throwing punches. It wasn't that, there wasn't really any drama though. It was really Teofimo just showed that he was a class above and he was just too dynamic for Barboza. But there was no drama. There was no knockdowns. There was no moment where either of them were like badly hurt. Barboza landed one, decent, clean right hand in the 6th round that really got him the 6th round. And the rest of the fight really was just, Teofimo showing he was a class above. And then you had the unspeakable Haney versus Ramirez disaster. And we've got this where, okay, we got a knockdown in the 2nd round. That's cool. But, unfortunately, it was a knockdown in the 2nd round and then not much since then. And that kind of sucks sometimes in fights because, it kind of sets your expectation for the fight early on that, oh, there's going to be an exciting fight. We got a knockdown already. And then if it doesn't deliver the rest of the bout, you lose a lot of the sizzle on it. So, the whole conceit of this event was to build up a potential Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney rematch, and it has, I think, absolutely, tragically, abysmally failed in that. So, you're not going to have a happy turkey a la shake here. Sometimes the early fights in the cards. 100%. Yeah, sometimes the early fights are the bangers. Oh man, that is too bad. That is too bad. Yeah, Ryan didn't show the urgency that did not show the urgency that Derek James was pleading with him for. Rolly should get the decision here. I mean, guys, I don't have to tell you, if you're on this stream right now, you're watching, you did not buy this fight, good for you. Good for you. You didn't need it. You didn't need it. It was cool. Honestly, the setting was the coolest part. The setting was the coolest part of this entire event. And okay, no, 2 things. Sorry. The setting, Times Square, just being outdoors and having the Times Square backdrop and people all around, everything like that. Okay, that was cool. That was one really cool thing. The other really cool thing, having Jim Lampley commentate. Throwback for me to the golden age of boxing commentary on HBO with Jim Lampley, doing the play-by-play. That was awesome. Also sucks for him to be doing it with a really less than stellar card. Hopefully we get more Jim Lampley on the call though, because god damn do I miss him. Damn do I miss him. He really is. He's a class above, I think, the other commentators. If we get Max Kellerman back on, woo, baby, we get Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman back together again. Oh my God! I mean, that will be a happy day for me. But all in all, let's see. All right, because I'm feeling sick, half asleep already, so I decided to eat and
Tier list to you is enough for me today. Well, you did not miss much. Art of Fight Trolling, you did not miss much. Glad that you hopped on the stream and were able to get some of the action, the play-by-play from me, or at least my venting about this. But yeah, I hope you feel better. Hope you get some rest. Yeah, man, get some rest, feel better. I need to up my spirits after this card, this event. Tomorrow, hopefully, Canelo versus Skull. Hopefully, we get a much more exciting event. At least Canelo brings the fight. Like he's last several years he's become a pressure fighter. A forward, and he throws punches. A lot of steam on them. Canelo will make you fight, so that's a good thing. So I hope tomorrow is a better event. I was looking forward to this, man, so much. I thought Teofimo and Barboza was going to be a great fight, and it wasn't. I thought that Haney and Ramirez, get see Haney's chin tested. Didn't see that. Garcia versus Romero. There's bound to be a knockout in this fight. I bet the under on the rounds. 6.5 over under on rounds. I bet the under. Nope. And Romero gets the decision over Ryan Garcia. He earned it. I don't know what to say here. Oh, I appreciate you, Art of Fight Drilling. Thank you, man. Thanks so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, brother. Get some rest. I'm gonna plan on streaming tomorrow again for Canelo and Skull. God willing, we get a better event. Okay, well, thank you guys for hopping on the stream. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Art Fight Trill, thank you again. Appreciate you tuning in, and let's rest and regroup after tonight's card. And hopefully we get a better event tomorrow. See you guys.